Is Elon Musk and Doge working for Vladimir Putin or working with Vladimir Putin? Russian military planes spotted over Alaska? Are the Epstein felon stories going to all come out at once? And will this break MAGA? Let's look into that. Welcome to Scrying Out Loud. My name is Trevor. First up, a huge thank you to all the supporters of the channel. If you're subscribed to the channel, huge thank you. If you like, watch, share, comment on the videos, a big thank you. If you promote the channel in any way, a huge thank you. And if you've donated to the channel, a big thank you. Before we get started, I wanted to let you know that I did post a video on the other channel about Donald Trump's past lives. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description and then the little thingamabob at the end of the video. All right, so we had breaking news this morning that a whistleblower, well, maybe not this morning, yesterday, that a whistleblower had that was working for Doge said that they were up to working in some labor systems that they probably shouldn't have been in. And they were noticed that a bunch of data was being transferred. And almost simultaneously, it looked like someone from Russia was trying to get into the system using some Doge credentials. So, and then they tried to cover up their stuff by deleting a bunch of stuff. So is Musk and Doge actually working with Putin or for Putin? And then a couple of months ago, I mentioned to a friend that I had seen images of Russian military planes over Alaska, and there are stories of that actually happening. So let's look into that to see what that's about. And is this Elon Musk Doge thing, is this Putin? I feel like this has something to do with Epstein felon stories coming out. And if they do come out, will this break MAGA, essentially end MAGA? So let's look into all that. Let's start with the Russian military plane spotted over Alaska. So what do we need to know about that? What do we need to know about Russian military planes spotted over Alaska? Do we need to know? It's very concerning. And the fact that it's not getting reported on is even more concerning. I see the Two of Cups, which is about usually romantic partnerships, but partnerships. And the Scrying Bowl. See what we get. It's with the Queen of Cups. They're looking for information, trying to gain something. It's also sending a message about security to the felon. I think the felon knows all about this. And it's Putin's way of saying, we know stuff. Yeah, it's like kind of spitting in the face of the felon almost. Like um we have what we need to mortally wound you, so to speak. The Five of Swords is about being wounded in battle. Um, about making choices in the environment around. It's strategic. They're not just appearing haphazardly. It's at very specific places at very specific times to send very specific messages. I'm not exactly sure what that is. At the center of the reading, we get the Hierophant, the church, the courts, the Pope, the government. In this case, I think it's the government. It's sending a message to the government that things are changing. Like we have two fives, fives are about change. The relationship with Russia and the United States has changed dramatically. That there's now a person in the White House for entertainment purposes only that is subservient to Russia. And that's why these planes are being allowed to fly over. And it's Putin's way of saying if you don't kind of do what I want, then these planes will suddenly be over the continuous 48 states and send a bigger message to the people of how weak and feckless the felon is. Yeah, emotional messages in the environment around this is scaring a lot of people. I don't think that they're going to do anything harmful. I think it's more about sending messages. You get the Queen of Swords in the lower left, logic and consistency. And I think that describes Putin. We get the Four of Pentacles. It's almost the King of Pentacles is my normal card for the felon, but the Four of Pentacles in this deck kind of just reminds me of the felon holding tight to his money, not, you know, letting it go, not willing to help anybody but himself. And then we get the Sun in the lower left. So we get leadership sending messages to the government that are going to be revealed eventually. So Russia's sending messages to the government by putting these planes over Alaska. Eventually we'll know what that's about. It's very strategic, it's very plotted, it's very logical. The fella knows exactly what they're doing. We don't, not yet, but we will eventually. The government knows, and it's their way of basically saying, we could take you down, not physically take you down, but reputationally damage him in such a way. That's why I think this and the Doge things might be tied to the Epstein felon stories, but we'll get to that in just a second. In the environment around, we get messages, which is what it's all about. In fact, we have two knights sending messages about security and also emotional messages. We have the felon worrying about his stability, and we get choices being made on how to handle it. And so far, the way they're handling it is ignoring it. Because there's this spy in the camp. The felon knows this is happening. That's the most disturbing part about it. And is not doing anything. It makes those spy balloons seem like child's play, really. Illusion and delusion, thinking that the American people aren't going to care. But once this gets out far enough, people are going to demand a change in leadership, not necessarily a change in person at the top, but a change in leadership style, because the people don't want what is being handed to them. Instead, they want security, because right now they feel at a loss for words, even about what's going on with this relationship with the felon in Russia. It just feels like it's there's something more to the story, something more sinister with the devil card. Lots of mis and disinformation, betrayal, sabotage, not playing in the best interest of the United States. And here's the felon with Musk and Putin with the Three of Pentacles. So this is all interrelated for sure. So what is Musk and Doge up to? Are they working for Putin? Was this Russian hacking thing just a coincidence, or was it more than that? Let's see. Is Musk and some of his Doge children, are they working for or with I do think Musk and Putin both have dirt on the felon. Not sure what allegiance they have to each other than using each other to get um, things across to the felon. So it's this Musk Doge whistleblower. What's that all about? Yeah, I see the two of pentacles in the scrying bowl. It's like they're trying to set up it feels, and for entertainment purposes only, like they're trying to test out a way to back channel money to Putin without anybody knowing. So most people think cryptocurrency is really anonymous, but the truth is it's actually not. It's fairly easily to trace, especially Bitcoin in particular is very easy to trace. So that's why, getting rid of some IRS agents always felt like a thing. Now, if they steal the Bitcoin, like North Korea stealing Bitcoin and taking it to Russia, maybe. Let's see. We get the star card of hope, hoping their plan's successful. They're wanting to send a message of some sorts. They feel confined and constrained by the current laws and systems in place. Like the guardrails are too strong to do what they want to do openly. So they got to figure out a way to do it behind the scenes. And I don't think this actually had to do with the database itself, but rather could they use an existing database to disseminate information? Like the information they were actually working on that's being reported by the whistleblower, I don't think is of that importance. I think it's the idea of how they can get the Russians into a database. That's what it feels like. We get the Knight of Wands fiery messages in the environment around. At the center of the reading, we get the Ace of Wands, a new world, a new beginning, a fiery one where things can't be trusted, bombshells and surprises in the environment around. The Page of Cups, the Two of Swords, making choices, things behind the scenes that we can't see. I think that has to do with this was just a trial run. Like this wasn't the show. We get the Queen of Swords, logic and consistency. So they were hoping to relay some sort of fiery new beginning using logic, right, through the computer systems, some sort of way of letting the Russians into the database. That's the new beginning, is Russia having access to our information. But choices were made when trying to do this, and it didn't work. They got caught. So that's good. But in the environment around, they're wanting to send messages. What these messages are, we can look into that in just a second. And there are things going on behind the scenes that we can't see. And if we did know about the messages, they somehow would affect freedom, right? The black horse in the background is what I'm drawn to. Let's see what the cards are underneath. Maybe that might clarify this a little bit more. There's a lot of heavy burdens. Victory for the people. It didn't work. Surprising new beginning. And intergenerational relationships, thinking about the next generation. The truth is coming out because there's still enough good people there's still enough good people that they're not going to be able to get away with this. I'm not exactly sure what this is about, though. What messages were they trying to send? Things we can't see coming to the surface. Very sensitive information about families, reunions, children, the full card. Let me just ask it slightly differently. So the Ten of Pentacles is the inheritance card. The picture has parents and two young children. So it could be about money. Is this about money? This message is about money. No, they're not about money. These messages about people. Yeah, confining people, like what they're doing to like the trafficking in El Salvador, confining people, taking away their freedom. Circles of support around money. That's just the greedy merchant and poverty. Let's just ask straight up, I guess. Are they setting up a network for entertainment purposes only? Are they trying to set up a network knowingly or unknowingly to allow people to be trafficked? Yeah. Illusion, delusion, and loss for the people. Russia's, yeah, burdens. I think that's what about, I think it's about keeping track of the people that are being deported and what's going on there, and probably particularly the people that are, younger. So I'm just gonna say that. Okay. Um, are all the Epstein filing stories going to come out? Is this kind of what that's about too? It's these Russian planes, stuff they have over, all because they're getting ready to release the Epstein stories to damage the felon? Are they threatening him, blackmailing him, making him commit crimes against humanity, or helping him commit crimes against humanity? It's gonna come. I think they have a lot of stories that we don't know about. And they meaning Putin and Musk, for entertainment purposes. Yeah, I could see them in the water chatting with each other and laughing at, who are they laughing at? They're laughing at the felon, the King of Pentacles. Yeah, deceit and deception, trickery, thievery, blackmail. That's what they're doing. That's in the environment around. Confinement again, the Eight of Swords again in the upper right. Keeping people confined, controlling the felon with information, the greedy merchant, the Nine of Cups. If you watch the past lives, Donald Trump reading on the other channel, that has significance to one of his past lives. In the center of the reading, though, we get the King of Cups, the card for the Democrats. We get the Four of Pentacles, stability. Giving and receiving of loans and debts. Six of Pentacles, or things of value. Yeah, the Three of Swords and the environment around. Heartache, heartbreak, sabotage, betrayal. Could even refer to the felon's heart condition. We get the Six of Swords, moving away from troubled water. So, yeah, they're trying to control the felon, but eventually the Democrats step up and keep us safe, so to speak, move us away from the trouble. There's a lot of exchanging of things of value, and of value, I think we're talking about people. But the Democrats kind of realize this, and they kind of try to rein it in. I think we're going to hear about this. I don't think it's like tomorrow or a month from now, but it'll be, I think it's after the felon passes. In the environment around, we get deceiving, trickery, thievery of the greedy merchant, the felon. They can do it because the information that they have would be such a betrayal to the American people if it came public, that it would end all sorts of stability, that would just be gone. Like, it's that damaging. Here's the card for Russia underneath, just kind of confirmation. Passionate messages, the people, the Four of Wands. We have the Death card as well underneath. Dark cycles, end of a dark cycle. Could be the end of the felon too. They could be preparing for his end and trying to get as much out of him as they can before he goes. That could be part of what is going on. Let's just ask one more question. We'll use the Unveiled Tarot. Will information come out on the felon before or after his passing that destroys his image with almost everybody? Information before or after his passing, it destroys. I see the Chariot card. I think we've talked about that several times. I really like talking about it, but that's what's going on, or was going on. It probably is currently going on too, but some of this stuff is in his past, but the current stuff may or may not be related to him. It just might be they're using him as a conduit, so to speak. Yeah, really heavy burdens. It's too much for people to handle, whatever comes out. Yeah, people aren't going to be able to keep their heads above water and save face. The Four of Cups and the environment around. It's going to involve giving and receiving of things of value. It's going to happen, I think, after his death. At the center of the reading is justice. It will be justice. It'll be karmic justice, unfortunately. Like, the felon's never going to see justice. It's going to be karmic, but there'll be others that do that are involved that will get found out. It'll be a fiery new beginning. With the greedy merchant. Illusion and delusion, thinking they can get away with this, or that you can trust people that blackmail. It has to do with kids, I think. Okay, so it'll be too much for people to handle. The Ten of Wands. People are going to demand justice because it has to do with separating family and particularly the young ones. Yeah, the greedy merchant will get justice because it'll be exposed that he was giving and receiving these things of value. I'm talking a little coded. Um, the environment around, I think it happens after his death, or at least after he's completely lost his mind with dementia, barely keeping his head above water. I think he's on his way out or is already gone. And this does lead to a fiery new beginning, which is the destruction of MAGA as we know it, because even they won't tolerate what they're going to find out. Yeah, it's going to be the end of a very dark cycle. I think it'll be good in a lot of ways. It'll be very healthy for the world. Um, and it's going to happen really quickly, and it really will make the felon look like the fool. He's kind of, this is my card for him in this deck. There'll be some fighting at the beginning, but then there's going to be some new laws put in place, some new guardrails to protect people. So I think the overall effect of it will be good, but the information we're going to find out is going to be devastating emotionally to hear. So yeah. Anyhow, thanks for watching. I'll be back with another video soon.